Welcome to another episode of Podcast 572. As always, I'm your host, Kyle. Today, I'm just joined by Matt. Dan is out on assignment.
Woohoo.
So we'll go over what you and I have been playing. I guess I'll start with saying I finished Mafia: The Old Country. I put a review out of it on the channel. It's a very okay game. Is how I review that game. It's just okay. Like,
very okay game.
It's probably the best Mafia game since the first one. And when I say first one, I mean the remake of the first one, because the remake has a lot of quality of life improvements that were very heavily needed for that game. And I do like that there is an open world that you can explore in specific chapters, but it's pretty much a linear experience. But the story is so, generic, and it is the most basic ass Romeo and Juliet story you could imagine. Like, it is like, I guess we could talk. I don't think you're gonna care. I don't think you're gonna play Mafia. So
No.
And Dan's
the only Mafia I've ever played is 3, and I know you weren't a big fan of that.
I love the story setup, and the problem is that story devolved into what all of these do, which is like fetch missions that I don't care about. And it sucks because I will still maintain, of every Mafia game, that had the best setup without any question.
I did enjoy it.
And
but like,
my idea that I had the other day, and I said this at the end of my reviews, like, for the next one, because they'll do another one. This was very successful, I was reading, and part of it was $50, but go a little bit further into the future, set it in the 80s, and do like the Colombian drug trade. Make it like Scarface.
Cool. Yeah.
I wouldn't go present day because I don't know. That doesn't interest me. But how many games are set in the 80s drug, trade like that, right?
I feel like
and
if you went present day, it kind of fit around the GTA idea, and I don't think you should play that.
That would work.
I don't think you play that one. Yeah, I could see the 80s, I think 70s, 80s. I think that would be fine.
I'm also, as I played there, like, I'm also tired of like driving cars from that era suck. I'm tired. Like, the game does a thing where it's like, the developers must know that, like, driving a car from 1905 sucks ass. So we're just gonna let you skip it. And I skipped every drive I could, with the exception of like a couple races, because I'm just like, this driving is terrible. There's one chase sequence that I failed and had to go back, and it had a terrible checkpoint because I had finished the chase sequence, and now I'm at the docks fighting this guy. And again, I stupidly played through this game on hard. We can talk about that in a second too, but I died, and I was like, oh, whatever, I'll start at the docks. No, I started at the beginning of the stupid chase sequence. I'm like, great, I get to drive again. So I played through the game on the hardest difficulty because I set out, I was like, I'll platinum this game. It doesn't seem too bad. And then I realized, like, one of the collectibles is collecting these, like, fox statues or something. There's 50 of them. And I'm like, but what do you get for it? Not really anything, just a trophy. And I'm like, I'm over, like, at my age, I'm over those kind of things in games. So I'm just like, unless it's like Control, where I'm collecting documents that are interesting and add to the story, I don't care. So I was like, nah, whatever. But at the same time, I was so lazy, I just was like, I'm not going to change the difficulty. And I played through the entire thing on hard and got that. The way this game compensates for a hard difficulty is every enemy that you fight, it seems like they have an invincible shield on for the first like one or two shots. It's really dumb. Like, there are so many instances where I would be in a battle, and the way this game's combat works is like Uncharted. It's like a cover based type thing, but they'll eventually later in the game, it's like, okay, we got to send one person up that just has a shotgun that just keeps shooting to get you to try and get out of cover.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you how many times I would shoot somebody point blank with a shotgun, either to the face or the chest, and it just did nothing. And I'm like, what? And then I died.
Damn.
With the exception of there's like one rifle in the game that's a one-hit kill, and that's pretty cool, but you don't get it very often. So that's how the game compensates for like a hard difficulty, and it's just very silly. But somehow I did it. I got the gold trophy for that.
Look at you.
But the end of this game, it's so fucking stupid. It took me out of it. So the whole game is a Romeo and Juliet story, right? Like,
right.
Your character very much in love with the Don's daughter. Don doesn't even know that you guys, like, he's somehow clueless. Doesn't have any idea that you guys are getting together. And then, of course, as I'm playing through the game, it's like, okay, story's really starting to ramp up where my character is going to go somewhere in this thing. Boy, it seems like it'd be a really good time to throw a wrench in there. Like, gee, I don't know, this chick's pregnant. Oh, the next scene. Oh, hey, I'm pregnant. Oh. So then, of course, that turns into, well, we should probably just leave and go to America because the game's set in Sicily. And so the end of that game is, oh, no, the Don found out and he's pissed off you're going to run off with his daughter. So
yeah,
they come to the train station you're going to leave at, obviously take both of you. The Don, who is like, had a massive heel turn on you at this point, is like, we're taking the daughter and we're essentially going to abort the kid. And then she's going to be given to this baron because that's how it was at this time in this country, apparently. Yeah. And then you're going to kill you. They're going to take you away. So also, there's a volcano that's going off in Sicily at this point. Like, I don't know why that was an element in this game, but I found that really stupid as well. Yeah, I'm like, this is Sicily. What's happening? And so one of the characters in the game is like the Don's cousin, and he's kind of your friend throughout the entire game. Unfortunately, you have to fight this guy at the end, and you seemingly kill him. And then you fight the Don, and you kill the Don. When you kill the Don, and you think he's the final boss of the game, then you have the scene where, oh no, the cousin's alive, and he's like, hey, I'm really sorry, brother, you know, whatever, come give me a hug. And the minute he said that, I'm like, he's going to stab and kill you. He stabs and kills you. You're fucking dead. So the last 20 minutes of this game, you shift perspective to the daughter, and you play as her, and it's all bad stealth. Like, it's not very good stealth. And then you fight like the Don's handler. That's the last boss of the game. That's going to take you to the abortion clinic. You kill him. When you kill him, and then like, by the way, this is the only every boss battle in this game is a knife fight, and that's fine. I think the knife fights are actually really good. But the last one involves you stealthily coming up to this guy and then stabbing him with a knife. And the game doesn't explain this to you.
So you just have to figure it out?
I died like 3 times before I realized, oh, I bet you it's a stealth thing because I'm playing stealth. So you kill that guy, and then the cousin rolls up. I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna kill her too. And he walks up, she goes, oh, where's Enzo? And he goes, oh, he won't be making it. Here's some money, you can get on the boat. And then he just stands there, watches everything burn. And the last scene of this game is her on a boat going to America, to their version of New York City, which is Empire City. Yeah. And just like, I'll make a better life for me and our kid. And I assume like the child is probably a character that's in the other Mafia games. I don't remember. But like, there was no need to kill that guy. I don't understand. Like, other than pure shock value, there was no reason to kill that guy at all. Like, it made no sense. Cause like when he showed up, like, oh, he's going to kill her too. And he's just like, here's some money. He won't make it. Like, what? So I don't know. That was the other reason why I'm like, it's just okay. But hey, more $50 games, please.
So it's interesting when you talked about that, because I went back through. So Mafia 3 is set in the late 60s.
67, I want to say.
68.
68, okay.
And then Mafia 2 is
40s?
Set in the late 30s.
Late
no,
30s.
I'm sorry. And no, you're right. So the original Mafia is set in the 20s and 30s. Well,
Mafia 2, I think, is like mid 30s, but I think it goes into the 40s because there's like a 5-year gap in that game.
45 to 51.
Okay.
So Mafia 1 goes 20s to 30s. Okay. Mafia 2 goes 45 to 51.
Okay.
Mafia 3 is set in the late 60s. So, which would be interesting.
Bring it to the 80s.
If you... okay, so technically, if Mafia, the old country, she boards the boat and does not.
Yeah.
If they wanted to, they could technically make the new Mafia leader that baby. And then you kind of like circle it all around.
And circle it all around.
Look, if they come out with another one and that's the twist, you're welcome.
Or they, like I said, they jump into the 80s and they're like, oh yeah, I'm the descendant of so-and-so. Like, yeah. I could see that too. I don't know. Like I said, overall, it's just okay. For most people, I'd say like it'd be a solid like $25 Black Friday game. So like every other part, like the gunplay, it's just serviceable. Like it's not great, but it's not terrible. Yeah, the cover is like not great, but not terrible. Like it's just a very old. What I kept saying in my video review was this is the quintessential rental game from back in the day. Yeah. Like you could have rented this game because when I was done, my game like overall time played on this game was like less than 15 hours. So it's not long at all.
Yeah, that's not long at all.
And I can't be upset. It's not a full price game. So, Water Park Simulator, I've pretty much demolished everything that you can do until they do the next. I think it'll be the 0.3 patch. We'll add some new stuff. I am at a 5-star. Like I haven't built like the 5-star pools and stuff, but like another session of that game and I'll have that. So, I still. Even right now for the buy-in of I think it's like $11, $12. It's worth it. Like absolutely worth it. It's a really, really, really fun game. One of the better simulator games that's out there. So
interesting.
And I would say like early access stuff can get a little wonky, but I think given if they stick to their roadmap and everything that they're promising, I think it's one I would recommend buying in now because it definitely will go up in price when it gets to 1.0 because they're adding a lot of stuff to it. So it's definitely worth it. But I played a little bit more of that. And then the other like smaller thing, and then I'll talk about the big thing. Puzzle Quest came out with another remaster of the original game. And I love the original Puzzle Quest. So of course I bought it. It's only $11 on PSN. Yeah. This one, so I will say they did work here. It's not like, hey, we made it prettier. This one, they actually took the entire game, rebuilt it in Unity. If you have, I think this is really funny, but if you have a TV that can support 120 hertz, you can run the game at 120 frames. I don't know why. There's literally no reason to ever run this game at that high of a frame rate, but I'm doing it. I think it's funny. It's Puzzle Quest. Like, it's still the best one. So, because I don't know if you know like the history of Puzzle Quest, but like it went 1, 2 was pretty decent, 3 took it in the microtransaction territory, and then there's that Gems of War game. So, and Gems of War, I never I think Dan's played a little bit of. I never touched it, but Puzzle Quest, it's called the Immortal Edition, so it's out on everything. So what's crazy, and I didn't realize this till the other day. And I have it because the original Switch back in like 2017, 2018, they actually did a remaster that was only on the Switch.
Oh, yeah?
Of the original Puzzle Quest. Yeah, with like different art and stuff. So, but it's only on the Switch. And then the big thing that I finally jumped into, and I've played 10 hours of it now, is Clair Obscur. Finally, 6 months later, I've cracked the seal on Clair Obscur and jumped into it. The game is incredible. So I will say, like, everything that Dan has said for months about that game is 100% true. One of the things I want to say is, like, we get the email a lot of like, I'm burned out, on games. I'm burned out on the industry, blah, blah, blah. Play this game.
Okay.
If you want your faith in what games can be restored somewhat, play this game. It is, again, it's a team of I think 30 people. I think they're a French team if I remember correctly. but man, it seems like a game that was made by a team of 500 easily. It does, I will say, and I'm playing on the PS5 Pro, so this could be part of it. There is definitely a little bit of jank to it. It could be a PS5 Pro thing because
maybe that's the problem.
That system seems janky at times, anyways. But it runs really smooth on its performance mode. I did because I was like, oh, maybe it'll be one of these games where I could switch to quality and it runs at 60. No. When I did that, I was like, no, out. It is like Dan said, like the beginning of it, like the setup for it is already dark, right? Like, the setup, the paintress lady paints the number, and then whatever age was the previous age, those people disappear. They're down to 33. So the beginning of the game, anybody that's the age of 34, they have this ceremony, and then they basically get Thanos snapped. That's the easiest way to describe it. But they know it's going to happen. Like, they have this ceremony. Everybody knows it's going to happen. They have sent out other expeditions to try and stop this thing because it's like an island. Yeah. And so that's not the hard part. And I don't think this is really, I'm not going to go too heavy into spoiler stuff, and I haven't gotten that far story-wise, but obviously all that shit happens. Those people get Thanos snapped, and then you set out on your expedition. You have like 20 people with you on this boat, and you sail off to this island or whatever. The minute you hit this island, for whatever reason, shit goes fucking crazy. And fucking, like I said, there were 20 people. There's only like 4 left after it. They all get obliterated. I mean, just horribly die. Like, there's kind of a twist, and I like. So the other thing is, like, I have not been spoiled in this game at all. I don't know how I've avoided spoilers for 6 months, but I have. But I have a feeling the thing that you see, and I'm not going to say what it is, but you see something when you hit this island that comes out. And I think I kind of have an idea of where it's going. I'm not sure. But when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I think maybe this might be what's happening. I don't think this is going to go well. And then boom, all these people die. So I'm like, oh, this did go well. Like that's literally how I was like, oh no. Yeah, like it's really, like, the premise is already pretty dark, but that was much darker. I was like, holy shit. But then after that, I think there's a 4th person. I only have 3 people in my party right now. I swear there's another person you get that I haven't gotten yet. I just got through like this red forest. Like, the environments are incredible. Like, the first area that you go in, it's like you're underwater just walking around. But it's a forest. That's the best way I could say. It's super weird. Yeah. The combat is amazing. Like, this whole, it reminds me of kind of what they did with Lost Odyssey, just elevated. So, like, you can, after you get a little bit further into it, you can either dodge attacks, you can jump if they're going to do like a ground attack, or you can do a parry. In a way, it kind of reminds me, it's like a cross between Lost Odyssey combat and Bravely Default, if that makes sense. Yeah. The music slaps in this game, like some real good music, and I'm not even that far. Everything about it, like just the production of it, like how it looks visually. There are a couple times that my fiance walked by the TV a couple times and stopped. Was like, "What is this game you're playing?" Like, she was interested in it just from an artistic standpoint. So it is amazing. So, like I said, and I'm like 10-ish hours into it, so I'll have more to say next time we we record. But anybody that's like, man, I don't know what to play, I'm really burned out, like, go play this game. Like, go play it. They're coming out with that weird, like, new edition that has the trading cards or whatever. Get that. Like, but like, this is one, and like, I'd also say, like, you know, I'm happy I got a physical copy of it because it's a harder game to find because it blew up. It's like it had like a Stranger Things thing to happen where it was like, I saw it at that Xbox event last year or whatever when they were doing their E3 thing, and I remember both Dan and I were like, boy, that game looks pretty cool. I should probably reserve that. And then it was like, boom, like everybody was talking about it. So yeah, I'd say, like, I will see how the game ends for me. Really, really like it. That is what I've played. We'll go down to you, what you've been playing.
Oh man, I haven't been playing much of anything. These 3 games have like taken over. The past 4 weeks have been these 3 games. So I've been obsessed with playing Dead Cells on my Switch.
It's a great game.
It is a fantastic one. And I mean, it drives me bananas because I keep dying, but then it's like I keep going back because it's just fun.
Switch would be a really good way to play it too.
I really enjoyed it. The Sons of the Forest has also taken over my time. I don't know why I keep being addicted. I'm stuck. I am stuck at this part where I'm on like day 12.
Okay.
And I keep dying. But the weather...
It doesn't make you start over again? Like you can just start like...
Yeah, you can load back up your same save game. It's okay. Yeah, it's not a problem. I'm stuck on this part because the weather has changed. It's now snowing. So I'm trying to build myself a like a habitat, like a home. And so the more I play into it, the more I realize that you can actually like free build your home. So like I'm trying to actively work on that, but then I'm also stuck because these fucking zombie monster carnivore whatever things that you keep dealing with are like worse. They keep getting worse and worse the more I keep going through it. So like right now I'm at this point where these things that don't have eyes and don't have arms, but like
the game has wild enemy design.
Weird. But their rib cage and their head essentially opens up from like teeth, and they're fast as fuck.
That's a whole lot of nope.
No, yeah, it's a whole lot of nope. The thing about it is they can't hear you, but it's like they can sense where you're at once they figure out where you like what you're doing. So like, man, is it bananas? It's gotten me. It drives me wild because, like I said, I'm stuck on the same part, but it's like not bad because I keep going back. So I don't know.
I'm sure that's like the first one where like nighttime is pitch black if you don't have any kind of light source.
Even if you have,
so then you're hearing those things make noise. I
have
and it's
torches
like,
on my walls of my like. So I sent because I didn't know this was going to happen when I started building it, but I built a fence where my back is against this lake, which is cool because I was like, well, the lake is going to already give me cover because once these guys touch water, they essentially die because they can't swim. So I was like, cool, that's awesome. That gives me cover.
Setup.
The downfall is the lake has fucking frozen because it's now fucking wintertime.
Oh no, so they can just run across it.
So now they're running across this bitch.
Oh, that
so now I have to build another back wall to protect me.
Like, it's cool in a way that the game, evolves like that, but that would at the same time
it sucked, dude, because I didn't know. Part of me is like, maybe I should just restart this bitch all over again and just rerun it. Like, let me get to day 12 knowing some weird shits about that.
Yeah.
But I keep
Do you still have the android or the robot or whatever? Okay.
I mean, I've been trying to like find like I've been trying to find like a breakdown of where like weapons and other things are on the map. But the downfall is, man, if you move too far away from your like home base, it is a pain in the ass to like get back there. And at one point I had a golf cart.
Okay.
And for some reason now it's missing. So now I have to go back and find it, and I don't know where it's at. But yeah, so at one point I had this like log truck that I was able to like chop down trees and I could hold more. But at some point I fell through the map while I was riding my log thing back to my home.
Did you fall into like a cave, or you fell through the map?
No, I just fell through the map. A glitch in the game. And when I did that, my log truck on my map is showing where I fell, but I can't get it. So now I got to rebuild that shit. It's just fucking tedious, but it's so addicting. And I don't know why I'm addicted to this game, but I really am.
You remember the first one, the one and only time we played like a really long session of the original, like somehow I fell into a cave with no light, and then you just hear those things making noise, and it is terrifying.
It is horrifying because and the thing about it is like for some reason daytime passes by hella faster than nighttime passes by.
Yeah,
which is like mad crazy because like now I'm at the point, like I said, it got to a point where the nighttime, the shift has happened and it's nighttime. But the problem I'm experiencing is that it is, when it's nighttime, it's 10 times longer than daytime. So like, and like I said, even if you have even if you have a torch, even if you have light, it doesn't matter because it is literally like, you literally get the torch and you can see to the torch, and the torch is like right in front of your face.
Okay.
It's the worst fucking system, but it is, like I said, it's just so addicting. I don't know what it is. So at one point I was able to jump onto my old house and they can't get me there. So I'm watching, but then the problem comes is when I jump down, all of these monsters are just waiting for me. So then I'm like screwed because then I'm stuck. So it's I'm at a point now, like I said, a part of me is like, maybe I should just start from the beginning. I
feel like if you start over though, then you're just gonna get into another fuck situation. You know, like that's just how it is.
I'm gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a lot of fun. So that's taken over, and then I've essentially gotten Elden Ring Night Rain to take over my life too. And like I said, it's such a craziness that's the game I've become like obsessed with.
I would have never ever expected it.
I wouldn't have either, man. Like
exactly.
Legitimately, it's my friend. One of my best friends was like, "Hey, man, can you please buy this game? Because I really don't want. I don't know anybody else who's buying it, and I really just don't want to play by myself." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, man, I'll buy it." I was like, "I'm garbage at these games," and like for the first couple of weeks, I'm not great. By no means am I still great. Like the fucking parrying and all that shit.
It takes.
It is.
I'm not even that great at parrying in that game.
It is mind blowing how good some of these guys are.
Oh yeah,
but like, man, like some of them are just. Whew, some of these bosses are intense, like to the point where like you just want to like throw your fucking controller at the TV.
Welcome to Dark Souls.
But it's a lot of fun. It really is just a lot of fun. Like it's cool. It's essentially the same map in the way it rotates and stuff like that. But it's cool because like it's just nice to see what you can pair weapon wise and what you catch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like every group of people plays differently. And so it's interesting to see how all that works. But I'm down. I've essentially beat all the bosses. There's a new mode in it. I think it's called the Deep Night or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that they were patching that in.
Yeah, and I don't know what you get when you start leveling up as you beat that because I've only beat it twice. And so I'm only at 400 points out of 1,000 for my next level up, which really sucks because you don't get any points if your band, like if your team gets defeated on night 2. You just get no points. And it's like, damn, like I still went through all of that. I should maybe get like 50 points to like at least say that I did some fuck shit.
Yeah, something, but
so I'm kind of addicted to see what happens if I level up. But yeah, if anybody, I'm just going to shoot this out here. If anybody is listening and plays that game and wants to add me on PS5, my username is OMD-classic and you're welcome to do so. I'd be happy to play with you. I'm garbage, but I'm happy to play with you. And I did download the demo for Little Nightmares 3. I know we talked about that the other day.
Have you tried it yet?
I have not tried it yet. I haven't gotten that opportunity. And I honestly didn't even think about it until we were about to jump on
I think it was Friday night. Like I turned on whatever system I turned on and it was an ad. It was just like, there's a demo on now. I was like, oh.
Yeah, so I definitely downloaded it. I think I'm going to try it maybe this week.
Is that out, the 10th of October?
Yeah. I already got
a couple weeks.
And I ended up not buying the collector's edition of that game. Like, I thought I was going to, and I just kept looking at it, and I was like, I'm never going to put these statues anywhere or, like, these steel books. Like, my games don't display anywhere anymore. They're all, like, in a little cubby hole. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to buy the original. Like, just the straight up. I went ahead and I think I bought, like, the $50 one because it has all the DLC to it that they are gonna release.
Okay.
So I just went ahead and bought that.
Yeah.
So that's the version I went with.
I'm at the jam up now at the end of this month because I have Silent Hill F comes next week.
Yeah.
So I will probably play that concurrently with Clair Obscur, because I want to get through that. Like I want to play it right away. I don't think it's from what I read, it's not very long. It's like 15-hour Silent Hill game.
That's not bad.
So I want to get through that, and we're at that part of the year anyways. It's spooky time. But I totally forgot that I had ordered that Trails in the Sky remaster, remake, whatever.
Okay.
And then it shipped, and I was like, okay, well, that's probably going to be hard to find anyways. So I have that coming, I think, tomorrow. And then the 30th is that Final Fantasy Tactics game. So it's like, of course, this happens every year where there's like a jam up in like a month, and then I don't have anything else. Like, I'm not going to buy Battlefield the day it comes out. Like, I obviously, like, Dan's very interested. Our buddy Eric, I think he might get it day one, but I just told him, like, I'm not. I know in like 2 weeks that game will be cheaper. So
yeah, well, not only that, but so I played the beta for Battlefield.
It was fine. That was my response.
Exactly. It was fine. Like, there was nothing super special about it for me.
The only reason I would get it would be to play with them. Like, for me personally, if it was just me, I couldn't care less. I would rather play Call of Duty, and I'm kind of out on Call of Duty at this point. So, like,
dude, at this point, I know I told myself this year I wasn't going to buy WWE 2K25, and I ended up buying it anyways. I think I legit think next year I'm just not going to buy it. Like, and I'm not like in a bad way. There's nothing wrong with it. I honestly think I'm just going to wait. It drops for like $20 for like all of the DLC.
They run those sales all the time too.
Yeah,
for that
a
game.
Friend of mine messaged me this week, and he was like, "Hey man, WWE 2K25 is free on the PlayStation Network," so I went ahead and grabbed it. And I was like, "Free? Fucking! I just paid $100 for that game, like not even a couple months ago." So yeah.
No, I'm with you on that. So, but yeah, I don't. Anything else? Like, I talked to a buddy the other day who's played Hell Is Us. I think he platinumed it, and he's playing that Chronos game right now. And it's like, boy, I'd really like to play both of those, but I can't justify buying either of those out the gate right now. So those are hopefully Black Friday purchases.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I really feel like I'm leaning towards that.
Silent Hill is one I picked. Like, I should probably play that right away. So that'll be the other game I'll have things to say on the next time that we record, because that's out real soon here. I think it's Thursday, I think it's the 25th. So
that's not bad.
So pretty close, and it's gotten really good reviews.
Good.
So from the critics. So well, we can jump into news. We can talk. There were some things that happened in the last 2 weeks. There was a Nintendo Direct. But before we get to that, I suppose, and I wish Dan was here because he's played Borderlands 4.
Yeah.
And I haven't really talked with him too much about what he likes or dislikes about it. But he has told me he has had performance issues with the game on PS5. But the game is disastrous on PC for most people. There's no easy way to say it. Like, it's a game that needs a patch. I do believe at the time of us recording this, they did put out a patch on the 18th. I don't know if that's improved things. I did see that it went from mostly negative to mixed on Steam reviews.
I just hate this fucking thing. Why are we patching games that come out like it's
but
here's annoying.
The issue is Randy Pitchford, who,
is a piece of trash.
Is he the CEO of Gearbox? Whatever. He's like the head figure of Gearbox. He has lost it on Twitter in the last week. Every day I would send Dan a text of like, here's like the new Randy Cope has dropped, and it's like this thing or that thing. It's gone from like trying to tech support people that are bitching about the game online. He talked about like turning the fog element of the game off, which is not an option. So I don't know what the fuck he was talking about.
Yeah, he's the CEO of Gearbox.
Okay, he was promptly put down about that on Twitter. Like, there's no fog option, dude. Like, what are you talking about? This game runs bad on a 5090. Like, how is that possible? So there was one point where people were talking about why isn't this game better optimized, right? Like, there was somebody pointed out there was a survey done in August that 72% of people that play on Steam have video cards that are not in the 40 series even.
Yeah.
And it's like, so why are we making games that require a higher thing when people can't really afford that right now. Because video cards, I don't know if you've looked, like they're outrageous. Like even when I bought the 4070 last year, it would have been like a year and a half ago. It was too much then. I don't even know what it's like today, but at the time it was like $600. So that was bonus time, buddy. Yeah. Well, I also bought that in the hopes of like the next year. I was like, oh, this coming spring, I'll build my new PC. I'll do it early. So usually I'm on like a 7-year cycle, but I was like, I'll do it. It's been 5 years, whatever. And then we got to, 2025 and I looked at it, was like, boy, these prices are not great for all these other components I need. I guess I'll put it off for another year. And I've been looking at it now, like, am I going to do this in March of 2026? I don't know.
No,
I don't know yet.
Just tell yourself no.
The problem I'm running into is the motherboard I have on this PC that I use now cannot support Windows 11. So for whatever reason, there's some, I'm not going to get into the technical aspects of it, but there's a specific thing where certain motherboards are missing something that's required for it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I can't get Windows 11. So now I'm not going to have any more updates on, so I probably should build a new PC and do that, but we'll see. I'm going to see what the prices are in March when it's bonus time.
Talking about that, a weird thing, and this is just weird in general. So my PC won't support Bluetooth anymore. Like, period. Point blank.
Was there like a Windows update where it's just like, nah, never mind?
Yeah. That's
crazy.
Dude, I went through like a mad crazy moment where like for like literally an entire week, I was like
trying to figure out
forums, trying to figure out what's up. And they're like, download the drivers, uninstall them, reinstall them, try this patch, do this. And I literally did everything. And I stumbled upon one and it was just like, I put my model of my PC in it and they were like, oh yeah, it no longer supports Bluetooth. And I was like,
why would you take that support away?
Why? Like, what the fuck?
That's so weird.
Like,
yeah.
This is so stupid. So, like...
So, I have this thing, which will not play on the audio portion of this podcast, but I have that Xbox controller adapter that I bought years ago that works with Xbox Series controllers and One controllers, whatever. And I still use that. So, I have Bluetooth on my motherboard, but it's spotty. Is what I would say. Like sometimes it wants to work, sometimes it doesn't, and I just was like, I'll just continue to use that when I do use a controller. So I've just used that, and it's fine. Or like if it's like a retro game, then I plug in the USB and I use this thing. So which is good for that.
So I have this controller.
Okay,
and it is is
that one of those 8-bit do? Oh no, that's what is it?
A gully kit.
Okay.
Is what it's called. I got it from a guy that I buy a lot of stuff off of, like a lot of retro stuff. And he was like, "Hey man, I have this controller that works for like it does. It works for like Switch and Android and the PCs and all that stuff.
You could probably connect that with like a Steam Deck too, if you're like docking a Steam Deck. Yeah.
However, like I said, that used to work Bluetoothly, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. So now it's just corded at this point. But I'm just like, that's so stupid.
That's a very dumb thing to do. Yeah. Yeah. But back on to Randy Pitchford. No,
this moron.
He's gone off more and more. I didn't put it in the documents here, but like some people think that they found like a burner account where he's like going off even more on people about it. One of the very dumbest things, and it is true, I watched Digital Foundry test this. One of his suggestions was in a certain area of the game, and you get further into it, after you play for like an hour, it actually like deteriorates the performance of that session. So the only way to clear that would be to quit to the main menu and then load your game back. Jeez. And then it runs perfectly fine. But are you going to do that when you're playing with 4 people? I wouldn't want to do that every hour. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's a disaster. I don't know. And I looked at the kind of thing I look at it as like, I'm sure out of the gate that first week, we don't know what sales are yet, but I'm sure it did well. Like, it's Borderlands. People are going to buy it. I will say this, like last weekend, I went down to a prominent college town near me to go shopping in a guitar store, but we also went to a comic book store as well. a lot of college kids walking around. Every fucking store I went into the guitar store, I went to the comic book store, and I went into like a tabletop like Warhammer store.
Yeah, okay.
Every single store I went into, there were people talking about, hey, are we playing Borderlands tonight? So it's doing well. Like I'm hearing people on the streets talk about it is what I would say. So like people are definitely into it. So a couple months ago when we kind of trashed Borderlands and we were like, I will take the L on that. Like
where we got in trouble.
People clearly still like Borderlands. I'm just one of those people that think it hasn't. For me, I'm not interested. I don't think it's evolved in the way that I want it to. So, okay. But then on top of it, you have this fucking idiot on Twitter going off about like things that he clearly knows nothing about. Like there was one too where he's like, if it's so easy, then just build your own engine or something. I'm like, Take-Two needs to tell this guy, stop talking on Twitter. Like you're taking
just a
this
big idiot, man.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I guess again, we'll hear about Borderlands the next time we record because Dan will talk about. I'm sure he'll have played more of it then. Yeah. But he had told me when I had spoke a little bit about it. Like I said, he didn't tell me if he liked the game. And the one thing I will say is like the people that are playing the game seem like they actually like the game when it does work, and that makes it worse. So because if it was one thing is like if you bought it and you just played it a little bit, it runs like garbage, but also you're like, I don't really like this. That really sucks. But it makes it worse when it's a game you're actually actively enjoying and it has terrible performance. Yeah. That would piss me off too. So Same. I get it. So that just seems like a fucking disaster. Let's go from one disaster to another, in my opinion. That is the September 2025 Nintendo Direct. I put a video out on this after it aired because I think it actually aired. I believe it aired on my birthday, so I was off that day anyways. And I got up early. I was like, I'll watch it. It's exciting. It's a Nintendo Direct. I thought, boy, what will you show me for the Switch 2? What can I be excited about having this console that I've only played Mario Kart on?
Nothing.
And the answer is not really anything,
right? Not a fucking thing.
It was. My argument is the worst Direct that they've had since they've been doing these, without question. And I've seen some people have a complete opposite reaction to that. So maybe I'm an out of touch Nintendo fan. Like, I don't know, but I did not think it was a good showcase. The thing that I was the most excited about at the showcase, and we'll go through the things that were announced there, but I guess, teaser / spoiler for this showcase, the thing that what I was most excited about is not exclusive to the fucking system, and that is the Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, which looks incredible. So, like, that was, I looked at, like, and this was after, like, it was a long Direct. It was like an hour. This was like the 40-minute mark where I'm like, I don't think I'm going to like anything here. Bam, they hit me with that trailer, and I was like, holy shit. Right. I didn't realize it was 7 at first, too, because it's been so long since I even looked at that game. And then I realized as it got more and more in, I'm like, oh, that's right, they were going to remake 7. I guess that's this. And I'm like, that's like a 100-hour RPG. So it's a very long game. So that game looks incredible, though. Like, just from the... Obviously, I've always liked the art style of Dragon Quest, but, like, the way that they're making that game, it just looks... I agree with the words reimagined. So... I'm not going to go in order of things, but Metroid Prime 4 finally got its release date. I will say, like, this is the worst trailer they've showed for this game. When I was watching it, I texted Dan. I got in trouble because he wasn't watching it yet. And I often get in trouble and forget that, like, he's probably going to watch it later in the day. So I kind of spoiled some things and I had to stop. But I had texted him. It was just like, boy, they decided to show Samus riding this motorbike in a barren fucking desert. And I'm just like, it looked like that Xbox game. I'm trying to think of the name of it. The one that was an exclusive of the girl that was in the deserts from the people that made Metroid. So I guess that makes sense. I can't remember the name of it. I played it and it was okay. But it looked like it's barren like that, where like she's driving around on this motorbike and there's like maybe an enemy once in a while. I'm like, this is not selling anybody on this game. So I know the Metroid fans will be mad at me. It has a release date of December 4th. It's Nintendo. It probably will keep that release date. They're making like 8 different amiibo for it that come out in different times, which is weird. But I don't know. I went from like, I was always at this point for this game of like, well, I guess I'll get it because I need something to play on the Switch too. To the point of that trail, I'm like, I don't even know if I care. Because again, the prospect of me buying a Switch 2 game now is, well, I'm have to buy it digitally because I'm not getting a game key card. So I kind of look at that game like, their final thing that they showed, and I'm going way out of order here, but a new Fire Emblem, Fortune's Weave. This is probably the other good announcement here, but
yeah, I saw that.
In any other direct, this would be like the middle portion of it. To end on, hey, a new Fire Emblem game was kind of like, oh, I have a couple of those I should probably revisit. That was my thought. I have one literally on the shelf behind me here where I played very little of. I'm like, I should probably go play that one while I wait for this one because I love Fire Emblem. So, and this looked cool, but yeah. Here's another thing. I brought this up in my video too. I actually got comments on it. But I'm tired of this, and this seems like a Nintendo thing. But one thing I'm really tired of is games that aren't out yet, and we're talking about a DLC for it. And they did that here, where it's like I'm trying to remember the game. It wasn't Donkey Kong because that's out. Maybe it was Pokemon. I'm trying to remember, but it was like they showed the trailer. Maybe it was this Yoshi game. They showed the trailer, and then it was like in talking about it, they were like, also, there's going to be this DLC pack. And I'm like, the game's not even fucking out yet. You want me to pay another $40? Like, insane. We need to stop that practice too. Donkey Kong Bonanza is getting a DLC. Cool. I looked at that. You know what? Here's my thought. As I was watching the direct, after I saw Metroid, I said to myself, maybe I'll just get that Donkey Kong game instead. Because that's like people seem to like that. And I was like, I like Mario Odyssey. But people say it's like that.
Legitimately is Mario Odyssey with Donkey Kong skins, because
that's what it seems like.
It just doesn't. So my son is going to join an esports league in the area.
Yeah. Okay.
And when I went there to talk to the owner, he had bought a Switch. He had a Switch too, and he was just showing me he was showing me Donkey Kong, and I was like, "This legitimately just feels like Super Mario."
Did you actually get to hold the Switch too?
Mm-hmm.
It feels nice, doesn't it? Though
it's nice. I mean, yeah, definitely.
I'll say that it's an upgrade for sure.
It's definitely the Switch 2 is a definite upgrade from the original Switch.
It feels like a, dare I say, professional upgrade.
I would just say it's just not worth it. Like there's literally no reason.
I'm at that point right now where we talked. You were not on the last cast that we did, but
no.
We had a story where it was rumored and now it's come true that like there are still developers that don't have Switch 2 development kits yet. Like, how is that possible?
Why is that still a thing? Like,
so basically you launched this thing too early.
Yeah.
Which seems wild because it's been 8 fucking years since the last one came out, but hey, whatever.
Bananas.
Yeah, I don't know. The more I look back on it, and like the other thing too is like I was out a lot last weekend in various stores, including a Walmart. You can get a Switch 2 anywhere. They're not hard to get. Like, they're everywhere.
Not anymore. They're everywhere.
So, and I don't think the Switch 2 has been affected by tariffs yet. Like some other things we'll talk about shortly, but there's this Pokemon Cozy Life Sim game. That, to be fair, I'm not a Pokemon fan. I don't really care. But this game will do gangbusters.
Dude, it's a Ditto in human form.
People seem like they were going nuts for it. So I'm like, I get it. This isn't arguably at this not great Nintendo Direct. Normally I would say this is the biggest bullshit part of this, but it was not. We're making Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 are finally going to come out remade with proper controls, not waggle stuff. That's cool. And for the people that never got to play that game or never did, that's cool. I never could get into either of them, so it's not for me. I'm not even going to do, like, I know it's coming out in a physical regular Switch cart. I'm not even going to do that. Like, I don't care. But it's cool that they're doing it.
It's not bad.
It didn't do anything for me. It's also $70. That seems wild. So here's one of my biggest issues with this, and I know we're going backwards on it, but that's how this article is written.
Yeah.
It's the 40th anniversary of Mario this year.
It is.
Mario Brothers, 40th anniversary. You couldn't show me even a teaser, like even the fucking, all they had to do, the hat from Odyssey, shows up, white background, here's the hat. There's a 2. That's all they had to do. I'm just like, hey, it's coming in 2026. That's all they had to do. But instead, what did you get at this Direct that's going to tell you about the great 40-year history of Mario? You got the Galaxy 1 and 2 announcement, a fucking tennis game, which, like, sure, whatever. It doesn't look terrible, but it's a tennis game. A Yoshi game. That's not Mario. That's Yoshi, bro. But
yes,
hey,
Yoshi.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and then to top it off, the announcement of what the Super Mario movie sequel is, which it's Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
And then they did the shitty thing of like, oh, all these actors are coming back. Here's a slide of each one. Like they couldn't even, you couldn't even get one of them. Like you couldn't get Jack Black to sit in a fucking room and say like, hey, I'm so excited to be back for 5 seconds. You couldn't do that.
Nope.
For Nintendo? Like,
nope.
I don't know. I'll say though, like when that trailer first started playing and they showed him, I was like, holy shit, is this Odyssey 2? Like I got hyped and then I realized, oh, this is going to be the movie.
No, it's the movie. Yeah. Same
and that's again, I'll say this. I'll be there day one. I love the first movie. I cannot wait to see this. My only hope is give me more Luigi this time. Luigi's my favorite character. So, but I say all this bullshit about Mario as there's a thing behind me I forgot about. The stuff that, yeah, right? I'm celebrating the 40th anniversary.
Dude, I saw that and I was like, that's actually a pretty cool little stuffed thing.
Yeah, that thing came from that Warhammer store. They have all these plush things in the front. And that was one of the things I looked at. I'm like, that's really fucking cool. And I got that. So, yeah, the rest of Mario stuff, like for the 40th anniversary, you couldn't do anything else. So that was already terrible. I don't think the tennis game looks bad, but 40th anniversary, the Yoshi game, sure. I don't know.
I mean, you have to have a new Mario game in the works, right? Like it's
Odyssey 2 has to exist at this point, or whatever it's going to be. Again, 40th, and I just think of the term 40th anniversary. You couldn't even tease it. Like, I know Nintendo likes to play everything really close to the chest now. They like these like 3 to 4 month snapshots of like, here's what's coming out in the next 4 months. However, a lot of this Direct was coming in 2026. So you could have done it here, and I don't think anybody would have been upset.
In 2017.
It's been a while.
It's 10 years. You're telling me in 10 years, almost 10 years, you can't make another Super Mario Odyssey game?
I'm scrolling down on this article to see some of the other stuff. Like some of the smaller stuff I'm not even going to mention. There's a lot of,
bad.
The shovelware. I put in the shovelware territory. Power Wash Simulator 2. One of my most hyped games of this year. You can give me a date for that? Just that it's coming to Switch 2. It doesn't look like it runs very good on the Switch 2. That's another problem I have with this Direct. Like, obviously, you should show Switch and Switch 2 footage because that's what it is.
Yeah, of course.
I am excited. Fatal Frame 2 is getting a remake, and I think that's cool.
I did see that. That looked interesting.
Resident Evil has been confirmed to come to the Switch 2.
Are we?
And I'm twofold on this because, one, I respect them for showing this trailer here running on a Switch 2, clearly. But at the same time, man, that game looks bad on Switch 2. After seeing the other trailers for this game, fuck, it looks bad on Switch 2.
Yeah, it does.
I hope people don't play it there. Like, play it on one of the bigger systems. Dynasty Warriors Origins is coming to Switch 2. Oh, they did give a date to that Mortal Kombat Legacy thing. It's out October 30th digitally and December 12th physically.
Man,
I probably will get that at some point.
Yeah.
But Monster Hunter 3 Story is coming out. Like, oh, they did go through a section. I forgot about this where there are games that are getting Switch 2 compatibility updates. Some more of them, including Overcooked 2. You know what? And their update is, hey, if you have the camera, it does that stupid camera thing. People are not playing their Switch that way. So, Stardew Valley is getting some. I think it's getting like that mouse control, which is kind of cool. Like I said, we talked about the Dragon Quest 7 thing already. Let's talk about one of the weirdest and worst trailers at this thing, the Tamagotchi Life trailer. Did you see that one?
I didn't.
The way that those people talk is so fucking creepy.
Yeah,
and that's what took me out of it. Hades 2 is getting its 1.0 release on the Switch 2. Digitally September 25th and November 12th physically. So Nintendo's other big game for this fall is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. which is out in November. I think it's the first week of November. And then they did show some Pokemon stuff. I keep forgetting that Pokemon ZA game is coming out in October. It maybe, I don't know, maybe that'll be the one I try. I don't know. But then let's talk about the other thing for me that made this a disastrous thing. Of all the things that you can do at Nintendo, there's one thing I would argue you do not need to celebrate the legacy of, and that would be the Virtual Boy. But Nintendo wants to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the fucking Virtual Boy. They want you to not forget that the Virtual Boy happened. So they're coming out with a new Virtual Boy unit you can purchase. It's $109.
Oh, why are
it's
you
out
doing
in February.
This?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's $99 in America.
Why are we doing this?
But if you want to play the games, they're only a part of the Nintendo Switch Online with expansion pack. And then you can also buy the cardboard model, which is only $25. You're paying $25 for cardboard, homie. Like, that's where we're at. I sat here and like, I've seen some people celebrate this from like a historical standpoint, I guess. But like, I just look at this like, this is one just fucking stain on Nintendo's legacy that we don't need to revisit.
That Virtual Boy was such trash.
It was terrible. I remember it being announced. I remember the commercials. And then I remember going to, I'll tell you where I played it. And I don't think this will do anything for you because it was a store. It was a retail store local to me, but a store called Venture, which has been gone for probably 30 years at this point. I remember going there and playing it because they had like a kiosk set up and just fucking hating it. Like, what is this trash? And just like, no, I'm good with my 64 or whatever I had at the time. Like,
I get the concept of it, and don't get me wrong, it was interesting. But that red and the color was fucking
hurt your eyes after about 10 minutes.
Man, I could not get behind it.
We were kids of the 90s where like we're outside staring at the fucking sun and doing crazy shit. So like,
I was drinking out my mom's garden hose, so I didn't have to go back inside the house.
Stare at that thing for 10 minutes and then walk away and be like, my eyes hurt.
Yeah.
So I saw
overall, that. I don't understand why people were so psyched about that. And I was just like, why is this a thing? Like, do we not remember how garbage that Virtual Boy was?
Apparently, people need to be reminded 30 years later that the Virtual Boy was not a good system.
Well, they're dumb because that's just bad.
Not a thing we should be celebrating. I look at that thing and I go, 40th anniversary of Mario, we didn't do a good job with that, but then you're going to waste time and energy on a Virtual Boy, like an actual physical unit. And I know why they're doing it because Nintendo fans will buy it. But I looked at that, I laughed and said, no thanks. That's out in February. So overall, like, just a bad direct. Like, I walked away from that thing like, boy, and I didn't go into it like overly hyped, but I went into it like optimistic, like, all right, let's see what Nintendo has cooking. Not much, apparently. And what we do have cooking is barely 2026. So
like
a lot of it.
Fall Flat is coming to Nintendo Switch. Like Human Fall Flat.
Cool. A very old game.
How old is that fucking game? Like, why is this a thing? I don't know.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. And I like I said, I've seen people talk about it that have enjoyed it. I was not one of those people. So,
I can't.
And in fact, it's my fault. I should have read it. We did have an email about that one too, which I should go. I'll pull it now real quick.
Go ahead.
And it's someone that agreed with us. Casey from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Hey, dudes, was that Nintendo's worst direct? Bringing back the Virtual Boy? Really? No really big Switch 2 announcements? Where are the games for this thing? Oh, good. Another limited physical run of a Mario collection. Thanks, Nintendo. I'm really regretting my Switch 2 purchase right now. Oh, it was bad. So, but speaking of bad things, let's talk about, let's switch over to the segment in which I like to call Let's Trash Microsoft Some More.
Yeah.
And we have emails on it. So Microsoft has decided, and I don't know, like, I'd love to know the logistics of it. I don't know everything about tariffs, and I can explain tariffs to you the way South Park explained tariffs, which was, I don't buy shitty tariff. I make you buy shitty tariff, or whatever the guy said. Like, it made perfect sense to me. I don't pay shitty tariff. You pay shitty tariff. That's what the guy said. 100% true. Anyways, tariffs must be going up because that's what Microsoft is claiming. They've decided once again in the same calendar year, we did this literally 4 months ago. We need to raise the prices of systems again.
I don't understand why we're doing this.
So now
we're
so close. We are so close to a point. I was telling my buddy this today that like maybe I should just go trade in my other Series X, get more than I probably paid for it now, and just get another PlayStation.
There you go.
Like, what's the point? Like, it's
it's
so stupid.
Like,
so to run it down, now your standard Series X will cost you $650 in North America.
So crazy.
It's a system that launched for $500 5 years ago. The Series S is only going up $20. But then here's the other important thing. Now, if you go out and look for that Galaxy Series X version that's a 2 terabyte, that system costs more than a PS5 Pro, even after they raise their prices with tariffs.
Right. This is such trash.
Let's read the emails we got on it. Josh from Peoria, Illinois. Hey guys, when is this tariff excuse going to end? Microsoft is raising the price once again on all their systems. I just can't believe that my Series X I bought 5 years ago is now somehow worth $150 more. And their BS line of due to changes in the macroeconomic environment is just lousy. At this point, I've been eyeing getting rid of my Series X and getting in on the PlayStation side of things since the system seems dead. I'm close to the point of getting almost as much as I paid for the machine. Maybe I should just do that. What a complete waste of a generation for Microsoft.
I feel like you should.
Like I said, I told my buddy earlier that like I sit on that. I'm like, maybe I do, because my bigger thing is the logistics of it, because I refuse to go to the GameStop in my town. So now I can either go to like it's like a 25-minute drive either direction if I want to go to a GameStop. And then like now I think about that in my head and I'm like, I don't really want to go to a GameStop. So, and the other email we got into comes from Grant from Madison, Wisconsin. Guys, when is this going to end? When are we going to stop seeing prices go up? This Xbox news is fucking insane. I'm just sitting here and waiting for Game Pass to go up from $20 a month to $25 a month now. They're actively pricing me out of the hobby that I love, and it's just extremely sad to see. I think that's the worst part of it.
That is the worst part of it.
Literally by doing this, you are pricing people out of an otherwise, pretty reasonable priced hobby. I mean, again, we've talked about before, like you can get shit on sale all the time in terms of games, but not systems.
Yeah.
Not systems.
And even if they do go on sale, it's like $50, which is, it's like really, it's not even worth it. Like, Xbox, the only reason I
sit on keeping it is because I buy a lot of 4K Blu-ray movies, and I will tell you, and it's crazy, Sony, the people that own that, they own that format, have a machine that plays those things worse than their competitor. The Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, fantastic Blu-ray players, like incredible. They have, because somebody was talking to me about recently, like if you have a sound bar or a sound system that can do Dolby Atmos, the PS5 doesn't do that. Only the Xbox does for movies.
That's wild.
But Sony, again, owns that format. What are they doing? So, but remember, again, in the PS4 era, the PS4 wouldn't play 4K Blu-rays either. So, that's literally the only thing that hinges me on keeping the one in my office here. Because I'm like, well, I should probably start watching movies in here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk more about movies in a minute here. But yeah, it's the whole thing is stupid. I agree with that second email. Like, I am waiting for the Game Pass increase. I think they're going to hold on to it until we're like a week or two away from Call of Duty. And that's when they'll do it. But I just, you raise the price on systems twice this fucking year. You know they're going to raise the price of Game Pass. So, and my Game Pass is up on the 15th of October. And I really don't want to up.
If I didn't,
I really don't want to up it, but I have to. Yeah, I'm with you.
I wouldn't do it anymore.
My fiance, it's my fault. When I met her, she was a PlayStation person. I was an Xbox person at the time. I kind of converted her over to the Xbox, and now that's the platform she uses all the time. And she plays games on Game Pass, so I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah. I would. It
is what it is.
Like I said, the downfall is on PlayStation that unless you buy that upgraded version, it's not essentially worth it. And I just don't feel like buying that version when Game Pass has so many more games that my kids actually enjoy playing.
I would tell you, I can, as someone who has both of those services stupidly, and I do use the PlayStation one. I do think that their selection has gotten better for sure.
Yeah.
Game Pass is still, of the two, the better thing. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Man, what are we doing? Garbage. Do you think we get a third price hike before the end of the year?
No, I definitely think we get a third price hike, but it's going to be next year when they do it.
Yeah. I think so too. Dead Island 3 has been teased. I don't think that should be surprising. I hope it doesn't take 15 years or whatever to make Dead Island 3. But they just surpassed 20 million players, which is cool. I need to play Dead Island 2. I haven't played it yet. I have it. I looked at it the other day.
I think I have it on Game Pass.
At some point, I think Black Friday last year, I got it for like 15. I should play it at some point. Here's a crazy one. Final Fantasy VII Remake now has its release date for Switch 2 and Xbox, which is I think it's January 22nd of next year. It's getting features that are not in the PlayStation or PC version, which is it's getting the speed up time, infinite attack, like those things from the old school games. They did those. It's getting that for this game. Pretty crazy. Yeah. I imagine they'll probably just patch it to be why would they make it exclusive to this version?
Yeah.
But, maybe this will change by the time this podcast's out. I don't know. There's a rumor that before the end of the month, we're going to get another state of play that's going to focus on the next big part of Sony stuff. One of the ones which I saw a leak for recently, because I sent it to Dan and we were talking about this seems like it might be real, is Wolverine is going to finally get, it's hey, this is coming out next year. It seems like it's about time. So
I can see that.
They had a banging direct thing back in May, so I'd like to see them continue that momentum, but we'll see. So I think that's gonna get. I feel like we're gonna record this. I'm gonna edit it. And I feel like tomorrow I'm gonna be editing. That got announced, and I'm gonna laugh. Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake rumors are swirling again. Now the latest rumors that they're going to drop the present day aspect of the game, which I think would be a great choice because that's the worst part of that game. I don't know if you played Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but you play as an Ubisoft developer in the present day. It's a very meta thing. It's not very good either. I will continue to always say the worst parts of the Assassin's Creed franchise is always the present day stuff. It's very stupid.
If I remember correctly,
it just takes you out of the momentum of the game.
So I will say this: when Assassin's Creed 1 came out, I became a big fan of Assassin's Creed in general. I thought the games were fantastic.
I like the original one a lot.
So I bought all of them. I had 1, 2, 3, Black Flag, every single one that they had up until Odyssey, I think it was.
Okay.
And I even bought Origins. I never finished Origins. I haven't finished Odyssey. But it's
that's
they really need to do something completely different with that genre.
And we talked about it earlier this year when Shadows came out. Was my interest in Shadows has nothing to do with the controversy around the game. I'm not interested in another one of this type of Assassin's Creed game when I couldn't get into Valhalla because of that. I spent 150 hours and platinumed or whatever the Odyssey, and that game is amazing. But then it's I'm not ready to do another one of those yet.
I just
don't
that understand.
Meme of I'm tired, boss.
It's because the original game, Assassin's Creed, was completely stealth based. that was their whole thing. Is no offense, the whole point behind Assassin's Creed is you are an assassin. Assassins aren't supposed to be out here just fucking caking everybody like they're supposed to. Like it just drives me bananas.
Did you play that Mirage game or no?
No, I didn't play Mirage.
Okay,
I think
because that was supposed to be the throwback one.
I think that's out on.
It's on Game Pass. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I did see that. I just, in my head, I'm like, man, can you just go back to like the way that the original games were? Like, use the mechanics you have now. You have all of that availability, but go back to the way that the original game was made as an assassin-based game. Like, and that's just the thing that blows my mind is when we have games named Assassin's Creed.
And you're not doing that kind of stuff.
And you're not doing that kind of stuff. You got me on boats, fucking trucking everywhere. Valhalla was about, fucking Vikings and shit. And it's like...
I get it.
So aggravating. Fucking aggravating, man.
Yeah, I will say this, though. Black Flag was one of my favorites. More so because it was a pirate game. That was the first one that really took advantage of the boat stuff, because... that stuff was a little bit in 3, but not a lot, and they really expanded it with 4.
Yeah.
Was that a launch game for? I want to say that was out during launch for the systems for PS4 and Xbox One. I want to say it was around that era. It was a launch game. So I if it's real, I would love to play. I would play that one again. It's one of the very few like Assassin's Creed games I look at. I'd probably play that again. I really enjoyed that one. So at the time,
I want to say I think I did play.
It's a really good pirate game.
I think Unity is what I stopped really getting
Unity.
into.
I didn't play because when it launched, it had like a plethora of problems. And then I do want to play Syndicate because they did do like that 60 frame patch for it now. And I never played that one.
I think my favorite one in general was Assassin's Creed 3.
That was the Civil War one, right?
Yeah,
American Revolution.
Yeah, 1 and 2 I really enjoyed, but I think 3 was just the one that I really, really got behind.
Of that era, I'd probably go Black Flag, honestly. I really like the pirate stuff.
Yeah, I thought the pirate stuff was interesting. I mean, I'm always
down for a pirate game, though, but hey.
I have 4 versions of Black Flag, to be honest with you. I don't even know anymore.
Fair.
Everywhere. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm honestly so sick and tired of remakes and remasters and redropping games and just...
For me, it depends on what it is. Like when I look at something like Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, yeah, that's a 25-year-old PS1 era JRPG that you're remaking or reimagining in this case.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's a cool thing. But some of these other ones where it's just what we always called it, like the file save as remasters, where they're just file save as 4K. We're done. Like that's that. That's where it gets tiring.
It is so.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which supposedly is going to come out in October. I think it'll get delayed again. This is a game that's had 5 different development teams, I believe. So they made a big mistake where they were like, "Hey, we're gonna launch this game," but that game has different factions in it, and they were gonna log. They were gonna lock 2 of the factions behind DLC. Obviously, that pissed everybody off.
Of course.
So they're walking that back, and they're no longer going to be doing that. That makes sense. I don't know, man. Like I will be amazed when this game launches because it is one of those that's been in development forever. It's been. Yeah. I do want to play it and see like what it is, but it's very much I will wait for a sale.
Yeah.
So, Helldivers 2 obviously came out on the Xbox. I just put it in here like I think it has sold more copies on the Xbox in the same time frame that it was out when it was out on the PlayStation, which just also shows you like Xbox fans are starving for something, right?
It's such a good game.
What a great! I keep talking about because we're at that point with Warhammer. We usually play Warhammer every Monday, and we're at that point where it's like, we're just grinding some really stupid shit in this game to kind of platinum it and be done. And then we keep talking about what's the next thing, and like multiple times I said like we should go just back to Helldivers. Like, game was great.
It's so good. It's a very good game. Like I remember when I first bought it because like
the thing caught fire, man.
I don't even remember why I bought it. I literally saw it and I was like, well, that looks interesting. But again, it's nothing compared to one. It's a whole different game.
It's a whole. You know what I liked the first game. I played the first game when it came out, but it is a completely different type of game.
Yeah,
it's more of a strategy game than anything else.
Now it is. So
when they turned, I remember too when Helldivers 2 was ramping up to come out, because I remember watching it, be like, maybe down the road, and then that thing exploded. Oh, but again, I think it proves the point that the fan base and the age base for that game, which was, our age, millennials, grew up watching Starship Troopers. I don't know anybody that dislikes that movie. So
number one,
you literally captured that, and everybody's like, "Yeah, I love Starship Troopers."
Dude, you captured that in the bottle fantastically. The bugs that you got to fight, and I think that's what really did is like when we first bought it, you're like, everybody's like, "Oh, this game is interesting. This game looks fun," but the bugs is what really did it for me. Like the fact
did
that
it for me, and then like there's them? They added the murder bots later that are kind of like Terminators. So
yeah.
But like, I think the thing that did it for me is the challenge of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's challenging enough to keep you wanting to come back for more.
Yeah.
So between the different missions and everything that you can do, and it has that same like satirical, like government element that movie has.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Which is funny. Yeah, it's a fantastic game. So it deserves all the praise that it gets. And it's awesome that it's out on Xbox. It always should have been. There was no reason for it not to be.
Really?
As we, inch more closer towards no more exclusives anywhere anyways.
Everything's an Xbox.
The last news article that I put in here, and this is an odd one. Nintendo of America has made the decision to outsource its customer support services, resulting in hundreds of contractors losing their jobs. It concerns Nintendo's customer support will suffer as the Nintendo Switch 2 enters its first holiday season. So, I'll say this, like a lot of companies, I remember 2 jobs ago from the job that I currently have, I said many times when I had this job, like, it's only a time. Like, it's a time thing. At some point, this support's just going to be outsourced overseas. It's going to happen. And it did. When I left that job, they were just getting ready to outsource the level 2 support to overseas. And from my understanding now, they're getting close to just being done with it. And this is a company that is based in America that prided themselves for like, they haven't hit their 30th anniversary, have they? They're close. I think 2028 will be 30th. So like 20-ish years of constantly saying American-based tech support. So anyways, a lot of, so I've been through it personally. I know what it is. I know what it's like. And I'm honestly, my first reaction to reading this was kind of thought that it already happened for Nintendo. Mm-hmm. So that was my first, and then the second response to it was, boy, you're going to do this right before the holidays. That's really bad.
That's wild.
Like, do that in the spring if you're going to do it, not right before the prominent holiday season. So it just, I don't know. What a wild thing. Yeah. We are expected to finish contacts that are deemed too difficult for new agents. I don't know, man. It's crazy to me, but again, it's cheaper. So, yeah. So, game recommendations. I put on here just because I'm playing and enjoying Claire Obscure. It got me a lot to thinking about Bravely Default, which there's many ways you can play that right now. So it is, I believe you can play the original one on PC. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. Obviously, it was originally a 3DS game, and then they did make a remaster of it for Switch 2. So
I do remember that.
That I almost talked myself into buying and backed off when the system came out. So, then I was like, I don't need to play Bravely Default again right now. Great game though, and it has, when it came out, what pulled me into it is its combat system.
Yeah,
it's a great combat system, and that right there is, between that, its visual style, it has a very good story. It does get in that trap that most JRPGs do, where it gets pretty grind heavy at the end of it, but a fantastic game. So, and you have picked a favorite for yours as well. So
yeah. Well, I can't remember if I've said this before, but Little Nightmares. I
don't think you have.
I don't think I have either. And honestly, you can buy the first one almost on every single sale. Like whenever it drops, it's always like $3 or $4 or $5, and it's like the complete edition too, which is, I mean, I have the original on PS4, and then I bought 2, and now I bought 3. So it's like, it's a very well done game for the price point that you can play it at.
Yes, I will agree with you on that. I actually have, it's up on the shelf behind me, but it's buried. I have the collector's edition of the first one for some reason that has the little guy in his rain jacket. I bought 2 digitally at some point, but I never played it. So, but I did play the first one, and I did really like it. So
yeah, I thought so. 2, like when you play 2, it does kind of circle back to 1.
Okay,
but
does 2 have any co-op, or that's the new thing for 3?
No, 2 had co-op.
2 did have co-op. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I know 3 does, because I think that seems like the real thing they're gravitating towards with 3 is co-op.
So the first one
is single player only, right?
Is single player only, because you only play as that person in the yellow suit,
the red.
Yeah.
Raincoat.
But in Little Nightmares 2, you actually there are 2 people in that one.
Okay.
So it's the person in the yellow, and then there's one with like a bag over his head.
Okay.
But I thought
it's like
they're both really good.
It's like a mix of it reminds me of those arcade, like Xbox arcade games like Limbo.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Inside.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of like a mix of those, but with like maybe a Tim Burton like flair to it. Would be the best way to describe it.
What really attracted me was the first one. When I saw it, I watched like the little trailer for it or whatever. But it was the monster type things which really attracted me, because they weren't really monsters. They were just they were done in such a unique way that it's not something that I had seen in a while. So I was like, well, I mean, I think when I bought it, I bought the entire edition for like $4, and it was the complete edition for Little Nightmares 1. And I was like, why at a price point of $4? Like, even if the game is bad, it's $4. Like, I can't be mad at myself for a $4 game.
Exactly.
So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll buy it. And then it just kind of sucked me in, and it was very well done. It was a pain,
very well done,
but it was very well done. So yeah, I think if you have the opportunity, catch it, play it. If you like,
it's probably on a sale right now. I mean, Sony runs sales on the PSN all the time, so it wouldn't shock me. I'm sure now, getting into spooky season here with October literally right around the corner, they'll have some sort of horror sale.
You can buy the complete edition on Steam for $10 right now.
That's
if you don't buy that, and then fucking Steam has Little Nightmares 2 for $10.
That's a good deal. I think I paid $15 for 2. So,
like, seriously, guys, come on.
What are you doing?
And that's the complete edition is $10, but just the game itself is $4.
Yeah,
$4, guys. Come on. Get your shit together. Give it a shot. It's $4, man. If you don't like it, then fuck it. Don't like it. But it's $4, man. Come on now. Can't be mad at that.
There. Before we get into movies and stuff, I sat back and forth on making a solo video on this or just doing it on the podcast. And I decided against doing a solo video because part of our podcast is talking about retro games.
True that.
And So, with that being said, everything to do with retro games, one of the biggest things in that community has been the Game Chasers, the show. Yeah. Fantastic YouTube show.
I love it.
I think you've met Jay. You met one of them at a convention, right?
Yeah, I met Jay because he was there with 8-Bit Eric.
Okay, so you met him as well.
The first convention I went to. Yeah, I have a shirt of 8-Bit Eric's.
That's cool.
But yeah, the very first Sega convention that I went to, he was there, and I was super shocked because I knew Pixel Game, and I've been turned off of Pixel Game Squad. I'm not a big fan of them anymore.
Not now, because it went from being like a Game Chasers adjacent type show to now all they talk about is flipping shit and doing whatnot shit. I don't care about
and
that.
I can't do that. But I've always like when I first got a hold of Billy and Jay from Game Chasers, I was like, man, they're just like two average type dudes.
And for people that listen to this and they don't know what it is, which I highly recommend going and watching.
Please go watch
on
it,
YouTube. Man. Like, what are you fucking doing? Listen to this podcast and you don't know what the Game Chasers are.
Go fucking watch them.
Right. That I almost like. I'm not gonna lie. Like when this happened, I almost thought about going back and just starting from the beginning.
I feel like I am actually going to do that this week.
I want to say it was around 20. I was not there at the beginning because they started doing their thing in 2011. I want to say around 2013 is when I discovered them and blew through all like up to, whatever point they were at with episodes then, and then would watch. But anyways, we saw this to say, unfortunately, and it's crazy how fast this happened too. Billy from the Game Chasers has passed away. It's crazy I'm even saying that. Dude was 47.
It's insane, dude.
I'll tell my story of how I found out about it because it's wild to me. But like, there was a night where I went upstairs. I was getting ready to go to bed, and every sometime when I go to bed, like I'll either turn on either like white noise on YouTube, or I'll turn on like if there's somebody streaming like a game or like a retro game or something, I'll turn that on. In this case, it was Jay. Like Jay on Jay's channel, he was streaming with somebody else, like one of the other adjacent game chaser people, and they were playing. And I kind of heard them say like, "Oh, Billy's in the hospital," and I didn't think much more of it at the time. And then it was like the very next day, I had seen that video on YouTube of him. Like he put up, I think, 2 videos of him in the hospital. Like, hey, this is what happened. I think it was like right after I saw it. Then you sent me something on it. And I think he sent me something on it too. I'm like, holy shit! Like this thing escalated really fast. But from my understanding, and they haven't put out their official video. They're supposed to. I think Jay said he's going to put out like an official video at some point. I thought it was supposed to be this weekend, but again, like they need time to grieve and stuff too. But basically, he had some sort of like crazy brain tumor. Yeah, and from my understanding, from everything that I've read, this all went down in like a month and a half. Quick. Yeah, like, really fast. To like, he found out he had it. He was in the hospital. They did some sort of surgery on him where he had to like reteach his brain how to walk a little bit. Yeah. And then he had another procedure. I think it was last Wednesday. Yes. And then it was like Thursday night. I saw the post of like, he's doing really bad. I don't know, guys. And then it was like a couple hours later, I saw the unfortunate post of like, he passed.
3 weeks ago is when he posted that video saying he was in the ER. And I was like it was like a 50-second
It was like 2 minutes. Yeah.
Literally him telling you that he was in the ER. He's going to fight. And then literally 2 days ago passed away.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like, obviously you don't know what the future of the channel is going to be. But it's a devastating thing. Like I said, he was 47 years old. He leaves behind I think a 7-year-old kid.
Yeah, I believe she's 7, and then I think he was married too. I think
he was married. Yeah, he was married, and then he had like I said, I remember when his kid was born. That's like the crazy part, because there was when that happened, that show kind of had like a little bit of a break at the time. That was all pre-pandemic. So, and I mean, the unfortunate of the Game Chasers show is like the pandemic happened, and then after that, like during the pandemic, all this retro stuff exploded in value like way too much. And I know the other thing too, and you haven't seen it, but I told you over the weekend or when you have a chance, you should watch the movie they made, because like
yeah, I remember you telling me that. I went
into it like going, oh, these dudes got together and made a movie, but like it's better than it has a higher quality to it than I went in expecting.
Yeah,
and I walked away from like, that actually wasn't bad.
Not bad.
Like, I know they put a lot of stuff into it, and I know that they had sold a lot of parts of their collection to fund that movie. And then they were kind of like, that was the fun of the show now, was like, hey, we're going back out looking for this stuff again. So, it's a massive bummer.
Yeah,
it bummed me out. Obviously, Thursday, like I said, unfortunately, I never got the chance to meet him. I've never had the chance to meet. They never come up to our retro convention.
They were so like, the crazy thing is when I first met Jay, he was behind the table. He was literally, him and 8-Bit Eric were just shooting the shit. They were just talking. And it was crazy because like everybody was swarming Pixel Game Squad and all of their, like,
that's crazy.
It was the two guys. It was Riff, the other guy, and then
Ricky.
Yeah, Gabbo. All of them were there.
Okay.
And they were all like swarmed, but like literally Jay was by himself. And I was like, and I told my wife, I was like, that's Jay from the Game Chasers. And she's like, go say something. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to say to that guy? And I just literally walked up to him and I was like, hey man, I just really love y'all's content. And he was like, thanks, man. And like, we shot the shit for a second. I think we took a picture together. And I was sad because I was like, damn, Billy wasn't here. Like, that would have been really cool to like see both of them in there.
Yeah.
You know? And then like, and then you catch wind of that and it's just like, damn, like it really puts into perspective that literally anything can happen at any point in time. And it's like, really appreciate the time you have with the people you have in your life, because you literally don't know what's going to happen.
It was a crazy thing. Like I said, it got announced, and I mean, obviously everybody was rooting for him to fight it and get over it.
And the crazy thing is, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure like they didn't think it was going to escalate that way either.
No,
like,
I don't think so.
Kind of like, it's just wild that it happened the way it happened. Like, I mean, it sucks more for his family, and I feel bad, and I feel like like it's honestly like you just watch like the YouTube. Like you just type in Billy Game Chasers and literally there's like just floors of
it's
videos.
The amount of videos that have been put out, the amount of
people
like
just talking about
tweets I've seen, like, the amount of like, it's been overwhelming. Some of the stories I've seen of like other prominent gaming YouTubers, because a lot of the big ones, like they started around that time, and a lot of them I've seen a couple instances where they're like, there are times where like he helped me learn this and this in Photoshop or in whatever, and like we just talked about that kind of stuff behind the scenes, and it's crazy. So that whole thing is just, it's so wild to me. It's a real bummer. So because I like, the thing is like, I totally wish they would have came to the convention I go to, and I know I'm way north of Texas, obviously, but I would have really liked to have met him, or I'd like to meet, Jay at some point too. I think those dudes are all really awesome. Because my only like YouTubers, like at the convention that I go to, I literally turned around and bumped right into one of the guys from that My Life in Gaming channel, was just randomly looking at tables. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, kind of a thing. And then not gaming really related, but the Nostalgia Critic, the last time that we went to the game convention we went to, and my girlfriend was my fiance, she's very like, oh, I don't know what to say or go up. And I just went up and I was like, hey, we really like your content. It's the same kind of thing. Like, there was nobody really around the table. Again, he's a movie critic, kind of an odd place from being a gaming convention. But I ended up just talking to him and the other guy for like 10 minutes, just shooting the shit about movies. Like, dude, was awesome.
It's really cool when you run into people like that, and they're like not as
And I say all that to say, like, the Game Chasers always, to me, anytime I've ever seen, they always seem like they're extremely down to earth.
Yeah.
Like, they aren't like, oh, we're super famous, we're going to these stores and demanding people give us discounts or anything like that. Like, never ever seemed like that to me. It always just seemed like, hey, we're two dudes that decided to make the game version of American Pickers.
Yeah, what really did it for me was like one of the videos if you go back and watch it, you'll know what it is. But like, they bought something from somebody and they felt bad because it was worth more than they got it for.
That.
And they were like, I can't do this. I have to go back and pay her more money. And the lady was like, I sold it to you for that much. And they're like, in good consciousness, I can't take this from you at this amount. Let me give you an extra like $80. And I was like, that's really cool because no offense. When I'm out at a yard sale, if I see something for $10, guess what? I'm snagging it for $10.
Exactly. I'm the same way where I'm like, well, I got a deal.
Like, yeah. Like, I'm done. I ain't trying to fight you on the price. Like, I'm good to go. But yeah, it's super sad to see that is. And again, if you're listening to our podcast and you have the ability to go back and watch some of their watch as much as you can.
Game Chasers. Type it into YouTube and it'll come right up.
Fantastic. Like,
their first episode of that show, I was looking at it today, is at like 470,000 views.
Good.
The first episode. Yeah.
The very first episode, yeah.
But again, it's been up 14 years because they started in 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a wild thing. And I've watched those guys for, like I said, for years. And it's not something I ever it happened so fast. So, but it really makes you appreciate life. So
really, like, and I mean, I say that really, because I mean, last year after I had my surgery, I was in hospital. I was in ICU for a hot minute, and just like when you don't think anything is gonna like, you go in thinking nothing bad is gonna happen to you. You're thinking you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be great, and there's like literally a 24-hour gap in my life where I do not remember anything that happened to me. Yeah. And I woke up and I'm like, I woke up by myself because like my wife was at home with the kids, and I literally don't even know what happened. And it wasn't until I called her and I'm like, what's going on? And then she finally had to explain everything to me. And I was like, I literally don't remember any of this. And she's like, you've been out since this morning. Like I haven't been able, like, and it's mind blowing to just like figure that kind of stuff out about yourself. But it's like, to note that guy went in with the hopes of coming back out and didn't make it back out, like, legitimately, like, just appreciate it for sure, the time you actually have with your people that you have. So,
well, why don't we cheer up and talk about movies?
Let's do it.
I'm going to start by saying I haven't watched really any movies in the last 2 weeks, but I have watched some TV stuff, which I'm just going to touch on briefly. One of them is a rewatch of a favorite show of mine, and we'll play into an email we have later, but I've been rewatching the Friday the 13th TV show, which if you know anything about it, it's called Friday the 13th. It's not affiliated with Friday the 13th at all. The show was originally called The 13th Hour. It's two cousins and their uncle who runs like a antique store, but then he has all these cursed artifacts he has to get back and put in a vault. And I was telling you earlier, like, that show escalates rapidly very fast from like, hey, we're hunting down these artifacts, to one of the episodes I watched yesterday, this dude literally is shutting the door to hell as the devil's trying to walk through it. And they have like the crazy, like, I'm sure it looked terrible if you actually saw it without the fog and everything going on, but like, it looks menacing with the fog. I'm like, this is fucked up. Like, as I'm watching, I'm like, this is a show that was on like probably UPN or something back in the 80s.
Really trash.
Where I'm like, boy, like, this probably got a lot of people upset in the 80s because it can be pretty violent at times too. The episode I'm currently on right now involves like a cult that's bringing people back to, like, a satanic cult that's bringing back people to life. Like, it's a pretty dark fucking show. But the cool part of it is it is a horror anthology type show because it's different each week. So it's a different object that you're trying to get either they know about it, or sometimes they don't even know it's an object they're looking for. The whole overarching storyline of the show is that they're I should say, like, the person that runs the shop is not their actual uncle. Yeah. Their actual uncle made a deal with the devil and is currently in hell, and he's trying to come out of hell and then bring the devil out with him. And there's a cool episode where, like, he's like using mirrors to come through from the other side that I think is really cool. The other thing this show does that's interesting, in the 80s and the 90s, a lot of shows would get to a point where they have the stereotypical clip show. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Let's revisit the entire season. What this show does that's really cool with it is they flip it on its head. So the end of the first season, they have their clip show, but it is the two cousins are trapped in the dreams or the memories of some of the earlier events of the season. And so they replay some of that stuff, but they're stuck in like a dream version of it.
Interesting.
And it's like it's kind of like it is a clip show, but like it's a cool way to do that if you're gonna do it.
Okay.
Very much worth a watch if you've never seen it. It is one of those shows that unfortunately it does kind of end on a cliffhanger because it was canceled prematurely. But it's a good show. I think it ran from like 87 to 90. The only other thing that I've watched, and I'm only mentioning it briefly because there's one thing that made me laugh really hard. Beyonce, huge Rick and Morty fan. I'm not, but every season I'm like, yeah, we'll watch it. There was one thing this season, and that's the only reason why I'm saying one thing that made me laugh out loud because it's such an off the wall fucking thing. But in this show, in this universe, their version of the Avengers are like plants. And for whatever reason, and this made me lose it, is the end credit scene of whatever Avengers movie they're watching. I don't even remember what the squad is called in this, but it's something to do with plants. They'd seen a rendition of the Bare Naked Ladies song 1 week, but it is all about those characters and plants and like photosynthesis. I don't know why, but it made me laugh really hard. Just the absurdity of like, who the fuck thought of this like, to go this crazy far? And it's actually like pretty well done. So, again, I'm not a huge Rick and Morty fan, but that for whatever reason, it's the same episode that James Gunn was in. So, because they made fun of James Gunn and Zack Snyder and that stuff. That was the whole point of it. Pretty funny episode of that show.
Interesting.
So, those are the two things that I, have watched. I need to watch Nobody too. So maybe by next time.
Good.
You watched the one that I've been like, you need to watch it.
Yeah. So I'll go through real quick. So I watched this Hulu new movie called Eeny Meeny.
I've heard of it.
Not what I thought was going to happen.
Okay.
So it's like, it starts off as like a heist movie. The main character reminds me a lot of Margot Robbie. It's not Margot Robbie. I forgot her name. But
is it Samara Weaving?
I think so.
Okay.
She gets roped into essentially trying to plan a heist in where they're going to Vegas to steal this car because the car's trunk is loaded with like $3 million in cash. And it flips from it's supposed to be a heist movie to she gets the heist. They don't actually go through with the heist because the car's already been stolen and she knows it's been stolen. So she ends up killing the guy who stole the car to then just take the car. It didn't end up what I thought it was going to be, which kind of took me out of it. In the beginning, I was down for it. It was really interesting. Her driving and it was really well done, which is why and I thought it was going to, because I was leaning towards Gone in 60 Seconds type things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they were planning on something and I was like, oh, dope. The car scene is going to be wild because this, number one, the lady drove like an Oldsmobile type car and she was like whipping it around and shit like that. It was like an old school Cutlass. And I was like, damn, that's really cool because you don't see that often. And it did not end up doing that. So it was all right, but it wasn't great. It's a 5 out of 10. Definitely give it a watch if you want to. If you don't, not a big deal. I then ended up watching Fantastic Four.
Okay, I think it's out digitally this coming week, so I will finally get to watch it.
It's not bad. Like
I've heard of the 3 Marvel movies this year, it is the best one. So
for me, it's on par with Thunderbolts. I really enjoyed Thunderbolts. Okay. I did have a good time watching it, and I did have a good time watching this one.
It's got to be better than Captain America.
Yeah, it was better than Captain America.
That's a low bar, but
yeah, it really was. But Fantastic Four, solid watch. I'd say it's a good 7 out of 10. Then I also watched Nobody 2.
I need to watch it.
I'm not going to say much.
Okay.
When you watch it, we'll talk more about it.
It's probably more of the same, which is fine.
It is, and it isn't.
Okay.
You'll see what I'm saying when you watch it.
Okay.
I also watched Honey Don't.
Yes, I've talked a lot with a friend about that movie.
So that
who didn't like it. So
that movie was weird. I'm a fan of Margaret Qualley. I think she's a really interesting actress.
Yeah, she's really good in The Substance. So
this movie was weird, and not in a good way, kind of weird. It was, I don't even know how to really explain it. But I don't feel like Charlie Day's character really did much in this movie. That is
what I heard too, is like...
which is kind of depressing, because I was leaning more towards that.
I think the argument with him as an actor is he tends to just kind of lean on, I'm Charlie from It's Always Sunny. And
to be honest, he felt like that in this role. Like, he was very Charlie from It's Sunny.
I'd argue he's good as Luigi, but he just didn't have a lot to do in that Mario movie. So
I will say it's okay. It got interesting near the end.
Okay.
But it was just it was kind of all over the place. Didn't really have a really great story.
Okay.
If you watched it for certain things, it's a good movie. I'll give you that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's a couple of really good sex sequences between Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley, and I'll say that as that. But it's just not what I thought it was going to be. I thought she was more of like a detective, and she was going to like...
That was my impression of the movie from the trailer they put out, is that she was kind of like,
but it's like
doing
the
some
whole,
detective
where
stuff.
You thought it was going to go just didn't end up going there.
Okay.
So
One of those.
it's give it a 5 out of 10. It was okay, but it wasn't great. And then I watched The Conjuring. Fourth one.
You went out to the theater.
I went out to the theaters, and I went by myself because the person I normally go to watch movies like this with wasn't available. Out of the four Conjuring movies, this one was on par with 3. It was not.
You think it's better than 3 though, right? Like, because like my thing is like, I think the first 2 movies are fantastic. If we're talking just The Conjuring,
mind blowing, fantastic.
I think 3. My problem with 3 is it's not really a spooky thing. It's more of like a true crime almost, and so that took me out of it, because like nothing wrong with that, but it's a Conjuring movie. Like that's what I'm kind of
feels
for.
The same way, which is kind of where I'm like it's kind of on par with 3 for me. Like I was going in thinking this was going to be the wildest one, because this is supposedly
that's how they play it up, because it's
their
the last
wildest case and whatnot, and it wasn't. 1 and 2 had a way better scare factor than this one did. I will say in this movie, the one thing I did enjoy was I enjoyed the story and how it got to where it got to.
Okay, that makes sense.
So as far as it goes for being the last Conjuring movie and being done with that series,
they were very quick that following Monday to say, well, maybe it's not the last one.
Yeah, I will say this: it
broke every record, man.
It's not horrible. It's just not what I went in expecting more from it, and I didn't get that.
Because I think overall, like as a franchise, every time I walk out of one of those, like be it Conjuring, Annabelle, or The Nun, they're always solid.
Yeah.
Like even the worst of them, it's like I still enjoyed my time to an
and
extent.
That's how I felt. Like I didn't leave the theater going, that movie was dog shit. No, I went out going, I even told my friend, because like he went and saw it this weekend with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he was like, is it scary? Is it bad? And I was like, no, it's really not that bad. There are like a handful of jump scares in it. I think the thing that made me the most angry is I got jump scared by something I knew was about to happen. That pissed me off the most, because I was sitting there watching it and I was like, oh, okay, I know what's about to happen.
I'm
and
so
happened.
impervious to jump scares at this point.
Yeah. And it wasn't even that it was bad. It just happened and I was like, oh, God damn it. I was like, I knew it was coming and it still hit me. But I will say this, there's just the one thing that they circled back to Annabelle in this movie, and I felt like they didn't need it.
I think the only reason that that's probably done is because, again, quote unquote, this is the last one. But
yeah,
I really can agree with you as a fan of the Annabelle movies. Like, you don't need to do that. I
rewatched all of them before I went back and watched this one. And then I saw somebody talking about all the monsters on YouTube. They were like talking about the different monsters from each Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
And they were like, they really felt like the Crooked Man should have got his own movie. And I thought about it after I watched the second one.
They were talking about it at one point, and I think it fell through.
He was so good. Like, his whole, like, the creepy factor behind him, I was like, damn, that was actually really good. They should have really given him his own movie.
They should have done something with that guy. I remember, like I said, they were talking about doing something with him at one point, and they didn't.
Dude, I feel like they could have. I feel like they could.
Which is weird. I mean, obviously, everybody always gravitates towards Annabelle and then The Nun.
Mm-hmm.
The Nun can be. The Nun has, like, again, I'm impervious to jump scares at this point, but I will say, like, there are some very at this point now for me, a jump scare isn't like it gets me. It's more of like, how creative can you make it?
Exactly.
That's how I am with it. So, like, I always, when I think of The Nun, I always think of that thing with her running with the picture, and I think that's really creative. So
that is very creative.
It's a very good one.
I will say, though, like I said, it was a good movie. It wasn't the greatest out of the 4 original Conjuring movies, but I will say it's a good movie, and I still enjoyed the story behind it the most. Like, not the most out of all of them, but just saying, like, I enjoyed the story behind it, and I left the theater going, that was a decent movie. Like, it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
Like, if I had paid to go see Honey Don't and I left the theater, I'd probably be like, what the fuck did I just watch? Yeah. But I was like, okay, that was actually pretty solid. So, and then we can talk about, I saw Weapons.
We can talk about, you know what? Like, it's been long enough now. I think we can talk spoilers on it. I feel comfortable talking spoilers, Mike, because I
thought it was really well done.
It's so hard to talk about that movie without spoilers.
It really is, because it's number one. So we got to the end and we knew who the villain was. I wasn't expecting it. I know they had showed like little glimmers of her throughout the movie, but I thought the way she was, I was like, oh, that's a demon. It's got to be a demon of some sort.
Okay.
Just like hovering over these people. And then when I saw her come to the school, I was like, okay, not a demon.
We're not going the direction I thought. Yeah,
I was like, what are we doing with this one? And then, like, with the teacher, the fact that she found the house, and then she's like watching the house, and like things are happening. And in my head, I'm like, what?
How fucked up and creepy is the part of that movie where she falls asleep in the car? And that person comes out walking goofy and goes all the way in the car and cuts part of her hair. Like, how fucking insane was that?
Insane to the point where I was like,
in the theater, I'm just like, this is fucking insane.
I'm watching this and I'm going, you don't hear what's happening? Like, ma'am, what are you talking? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you not waking up to this? And it was crazy. Like, I will say, I really enjoyed the way that she was like, taking people over. Yeah, I thought that was really cool, like really well done. And like the I know his name is not that, but Wong.
I know you.
Yeah. I really thought it was crazy the way he ended up killing his partner.
Yeah, and then
I was like
taken over by that, and it's over.
I thought it was wild. Like the whole movie itself, like was a clusterfuck because I was like, I went in thinking, okay, something happened to these kids, and like the fact that the one kid was like, I don't know what's going on. Part of me was like, did they really just leave one little fucking kid out of the entire class? Like, what did this little kid do to not be able to participate in whatever the fuck craziness happened?
You can poke holes in certain parts of it, like with the kid and like the whole, like when it's finally explained of like how he was keeping his parents alive and getting the soup and stuff like
Soups.
Yeah, that would be kind of fucked up of like going to the same store every day, but it's also a good commentary of how people just ignore shit today.
Yeah.
You know, so I think one of my favorite parts of that movie and the part like, so I was lucky enough not only to go to the theater, but I saw it with an entire sold out theater, which is my favorite for a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't think there's a single person that disliked it when I was in the theater from reactions and stuff. But my favorite scene in that entire movie is the first dream sequence that Josh Brolin has. And it's like really wild and fucked up. And like, he's looking up in the sky. You see like the gun in the air with the clock and everything. Yeah. And then when he wakes up and just looks and just yells out, what the fuck? Like really got like the best laugh in the movie. But like, that's where you are at that point in the movie. Like, what is fucking going on in this movie? Like, that's exactly. And that's the fun of the mystery of it is like half of that movie is, what is happening? Like, how is this going on? What is going on in this fucking house? And then when it's finally revealed halfway in, like, oh, okay, like this, I get what's happening here. Then it becomes, why is this happening for the rest of the movie? I think the sequence, and again, we're heavily spoiling this now, but I think the sequence at the very end of the movie, when he finally gets into the basement and like sees those kids, is fucking creepy. Like, there's
what really did it for me was at the end when she finally sicks the kids on the witch. I was like,
that's the one scene where I've told Dan of like, you'll know when it's coming, you can look away. Like, you'll know it's going to happen. And
dude,
you know when they're running, it's going to be bad.
That whole instance, in the theater. I was like, that was fucking wild. Like, those kids were literally jumping every corner. Like, I was like, damn. I
will say the audience that I saw that movie with, people clapped and cheered when it happened because it was like, I don't know, it's just kind of like when it happened. I'm like, okay, everybody was a fan of that. Like,
it was fucking wild, but it was so
what an
good.
incredible movie.
I will say, by far, that was a solid movie. I'm definitely going to rewatch it again because
it's easily my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, fantastic.
Hands down. Like,
the monkey was up there too because I'm not going to lie,
Monkey's up there too. Yeah, but that movie, this is better.
I will definitely say going in, if you haven't seen Weapons, go watch it. Even with us spoiling it, dude, it's such a fun and interesting
the thing
ride.
About it too is like, it's split up in this way where it's, you follow like a different character telling the story. You start with the teacher, then the parent, and it goes down. Every sequence, and like, I'd say the movie's like, 2 hours? Like each sequence is like 20, 25 minutes per character. Every one of them is incredibly interesting what's happening.
What did it for me was the druggie.
Yeah, everybody loved that part. Yeah.
When I watched this whole thing,
he's
I was
funny.
Like, what's this dude doing? And then like he fucking runs into his tent, and then he like fucking like like shoots that thing out at the fucking.
There's two like, I'm not good with needles in real life, and there's two scenes with needles in that movie got me.
So
jump scares won't give me, but like, you do a little needle prick on somebody's finger, and I'm sitting there like, no, like I could watch the end of that movie with what happens and laugh at it and be like, ha ha ha, whatever. But that guy putting his finger in his pocket and getting that stab with that thing, I was like, oh no, like that was my immediate reaction. Like, I cannot stand that. And then later when he got stabbed with that needle, I'm like, no, like what are we doing?
So interesting. And then the fact that guy got turned at the end was just like, wow, man, that poor dude.
What a great movie.
It's like so good.
Easily my favorite movie of this year. I don't think anything's gonna top it at this point. Like, And I had like my buddy watched it. My buddy who he hates almost everything because immediately I told him for like a month. I mean, he watched Weapons when it's up. You watch it. It's like everything happened because of a fucking stick. And that made me laugh when he said that. I'm like, you're not wrong, but like there's more to it.
Yeah, not wrong at all.
But it's just what a great it's funny. Like that's the other part. Like it balances humor really well with like a horror movie. So it's like I said, there's just sequences. Also, like it was nice. I guess this will be a spoiler too, but it's nice to see Justin Long in a horror movie not die.
Legitimately,
briefly.
The crazy thing is
I popped for him when he showed.
For some reason, I didn't know he was going to be in the movie.
I didn't either. When he popped
up, I was like, "This motherfucker's gonna die."
That's what I thought too. I was like, "Oh, he's fucking going to die,"
and then he didn't die. I was like, "Okay, I'm cool with it." Like, I love Justin. Like, okay, all right, he didn't. And the thing
was, like, I still, when I started watching the movie until they revealed what it was in my head, and that's how I went going in. I thought it was going to be like a government experiment type thing. Even when he's like mapping out, and he's like, "Oh, they all met like under this power line area." I was like, "Yeah, this seems like we're going the government conspiracy route." And so for it to divert that and not be that, I was very impressed.
Yeah, I was like, really shook.
I would have never guessed that. I do also like the shot of that lady in the forest because it's clearly a nod to It with her waving. Yeah. the drunk guy, like, yeah. So
I wasn't expecting that. I was like, when she did that, I was like, okay,
I know what we're doing here. Yeah,
when Brolin, because it killed me because Brolin saw her, and then like like a little glimmer of her, and that's what made me trigger Demon, because I was just like, okay, why is that random the first time she shows
up in that school and like all that makeup, and I'm just like, what is fucking? That was another one of those like, what is happening in this movie? Like,
what is going on?
Yeah, there is a couple that, but I haven't seen an audience laugh out loud and so hard than that scene of him saying, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it was good shit.
What a great movie! So cannot recommend it enough.
Yeah, like, go catch it, guys.
I will get that on 4K, and I cannot wait to. So, like I said, the thing is, like, I went into it like I was excited. I thought the premise was good, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I didn't really care for Barbarian, so that's why I'm like, I don't know if this guy's gonna pull it off, and he did. So
yeah, I agree. Very well done.
We can burn through. We don't have many emails here. I'm going to read this one, and then we'll probably I'm going to leave it in here. We'll do a part 2 of it when Dan is back, because I know he had some answers for it as well.
Yeah.
I held this for you from last week since you weren't here. Comes to us from Caitlin from Davenport, Iowa. Howdy, 572 guys. I've listened to the podcast for quite some time, as well as followed the Marble Gallery channel. I know you guys seem to love horror as much as I do. I'm really at an impasse lately when I'm trying to find a new horror anthology series to watch. I tried to give American Horror Story a shot, and I tried each season up to the Roanoke one, and I just couldn't get into it. Fun fact, the American Horror Story video posted on this channel is what brought me in a while ago. For some reason, I made a video about American Horror Story and how I think it sucks.
Yep.
6 years ago. And that video still to this fucking day, like, it'll be like a random week, and I'll get like 6 comments on it of either I agree with you or you're a fucking tool for thinking. Like, it's one extreme or the other. You have fans that like love that show, and then you have people that just absolutely hate it like I do. So, but for whatever reason, that video still gets traction like 6 years later. Anyways, do you guys have any recommendations for anthology horror? It could be movies, it could be TV shows. It's one of my favorites. Miguel, who grew up on things like Goosebumps and Tales from the Crypt. Any recommendations? I appreciate, thanks. And I realized as I reread the email that I think I put Tales from the Crypt in my answer, so I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove that from my answer. So I'll go through the ones that I have first. Obviously I just talked about it, like, but the Friday the 13th series, if you've never seen it, as long as you go in knowing it's not Friday the 13th, you'll be fine. One of my all-time favorites is Tales from the Dark Side. I don't rewatch that show every year, but around this time, I will rewatch specific episodes of it because I still think it's amazing to this day. That is one of my favorites. I actually recently bought the like DVD set of it because they've never, unfortunately, remastered it anything higher than that. Yeah. And also, if you've never seen the movie's really good too. That's also anthology. There's 4 stories and a wraparound. Also very good. There is a 4K of that. I did buy that. So, yeah, you mentioned Goosebumps in your email. If you've never seen the Canadian, like, I'd say kind of sequel to it, The Haunting Hour, if you can find it somewhere, because it is hard to find. Awesome show. It goes a little bit darker. Like, kids clearly fucking die on the show, and it's for kids. So there are some wild ones. The ones I think of the spider guy. That one's fucked up. And I think there's one where this girl is like obsessed with this new house they move into. That one has a wild ending. So that's a great show. And then you've probably seen this, but I put it in here, just the X-Files. Like, most people have seen it. So, but those early seasons, especially, really amazing. So, what about you, Matt?
So I said the R.L. Stine's The Haunting Hour.
Yeah.
I'll throw in Are You Afraid of the Dark, the old school version, because I thought that was really well done too. And the other 2 I've picked aren't anthology based because they aren't centered around like different stories for things. But I will say the Exorcist TV series that came out was, for me, a really solid series.
Was that the one that came out in like the mid 2010s?
Yeah.
That's pretty recent, right?
Yeah, and it didn't... Okay. It was like, it wasn't out for a while. I think it had 2 or 3 series. Hold on. Yeah, so it had 2 seasons, which is really... I enjoyed it, and I thought they were really well done, because it's essentially like the series of events from, I think, the first movie, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
It was really good. Yeah.
Is it set in the present day, or it's set in the 70s, or?
So it is a sequel to the 1973 film.
Okay.
For that. And then it does have callbacks to the original one.
Okay.
It was just a really good...
I never watched it, so
I started
interested.
Yeah, I started.
Is it on like Netflix or something? What is it on?
I don't think it's on anything.
I can
right
answer
now.
that really quick.
Yeah, I was about to say you can probably find it.
I can probably find that really quick. So,
yeah.
But I am interested in it. I never, like I said, I remember when it came out. So I actually I guess I didn't mention it since it is a horror thing, but I talked about, I think, a couple episodes ago where like I was initially really high on that Alien show for the first episode, and then the second one I dropped off. I did have somebody recently say, you really need to go back. So when that ends this coming week, I think I'm just going to power the rest of the episodes. So
that makes sense. So it doesn't say, it says it's on Amazon Video and Apple TV for the Exorcist series.
Okay. It had 2 seasons.
Yeah. It was a really good series. Like, I thought it was very interesting, and I thought it was really well done. There's 10 episodes per each season. So, I mean, it was a solid watch for me.
Okay.
I say definitely go give it a shot.
You know, in the same vein, and I never finished it, I guess I would put it in here. I would hope that it has a decent ending. So maybe I hesitate to put it in here. But the first 2 seasons I saw, that Evil show, not bad.
Yeah, I've heard
that was kind of interesting
about that too,
but I never went back to it. That show, it kind of like the X-Files, where like it does have a story, but then it has like Monster of the Week stuff. So,
and the other one I threw in here was it's a series on Netflix. It's called The Kingdom.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, so it's set in like feudal Japan. It's a bunch of samurais and stuff like that. But essentially what happens is a prince is essentially, he becomes a zombie. And they can't tell his kingdom that he's a zombie. So they're essentially keeping him alive, even though he's turned and he's starting to turn other people. It's 2 seasons. I think the 3rd season is in production right now, actually. And there is a movie to go along with it.
Interesting.
It's very well done. Again, it's not an anthology, it's just a series. But if you don't mind a little reading, and I think there's actually a dubbed version of it too. So I mean, I think it plays like that.
That can sometimes like if you ever seen the Godzilla -1 dub, it's horrendous. Bad. Yeah,
but I mean, if you don't mind reading, just read it. I will say both of those. If you're a fan of zombies, I think they do zombies really well, and I think the whole overhaul of the series itself is a pretty solid one. So yeah, give it a shot if that's something you like and something you're interested in.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna look into the Exorcist one because I never watched it. So
yeah, I thought it was.
I
really
remember
good.
when it was out. There was another, and Dan would know because he was here. But there was one I remember too that was in like the early 2010s. It was on Fox. I'm trying to think of it. The reason I never watched it is because there was something else I was watching at the time, and I caught the tail end of the season finale of that show, and they literally just like did a recap where it explained everything, including the cliffhanger, and I was like, oh, I'm out on that show. I can't remember what it was called. They only did 2 seasons of it. I can remember the guy, and it was like the guy, I want to say maybe he was related to like the Headless Horseman or something. You think you know what I'm talking about? I can't think of the name of it. Like I said, Dan, he would know.
Sleepy Hollow?
It was something Sleepy Hollow related, I thought. Like I said, it was early 2010s. It could have been like 2013, something like that.
I think it was called Sleepy Hollow. Yeah. Sleepy Hollow.
You are right.
From 2013 to 2017.
Oh, that show ran way longer than I thought.
Headless Horseman. I was like, Sleepy Hollow? Is that what it was? I think that's it.
Yeah, I just remember this fucked up thing coming out of a mirror in the one episode I saw. I was like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and get that too while you're searching.
It's on Hulu now. That's at least available. The Exorcist show, it's like, fuck everyone.
It's not available yet.
Yeah, but no, that, and like I said, we'll do a part 2 of that when Dan's back, because I know he had some answers for it as well. And this other one I'm going to save for him as well. Mac from Denver, Colorado. Hey guys, I'm curious. I know we still aren't at the end of the year and we have a few things left to come out, but any early picks for Game of the Year?
So I looked this up because I was wondering if I had played any games for this Game of the Year. And right now they're saying that the forerunners are Clear Obscure, Hollow Knight Silksong, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2, Split Fiction, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
People really like Split Fiction. So for me, I'd say like, we'll see where I land after I finish Clear Obscure, because that game makes a really good and strong first impression. But if I were to end it right now, it would easily be Death Stranding 2. So, but I can't, I can't talk about the end of that game without A, spoiling it, and B, the kind of thing is like, if you didn't ever played Death Stranding and I explained the end of that game to you, you wouldn't know what the fuck's going on anyways, because it's so wild. They say
some of the dark horses would be Blueprints, Monster Hunter Wild, Despolite? I don't even heard about that. Indiana Jones, The Great Circle, and Avowed.
Our final email comes to us from Brandon from Jackson, Mississippi. Hi, 572. You guys ranted about how the new Skate wasn't looking too good last episode, right before its early access release. I can confirm this is 100% true. The game sucks. Everything is locked behind microtransactions. The game feels incredibly unfinished. Hell, even the physics bullshit I loved from Skate 3 all those years ago just doesn't feel the same in 2025.
Yeah.
This is not the skateboarding game anyone is looking for. We actually had a lot of comments on that.
I was going to say, I actually downloaded it the other day and I just ran through some of the tutorial. It really plays weird. Like, it's not that great, to be honest with you. And I'm not shocked by this either.
So my history with Skate, and I'll run it down really quick. Like, I remember when the first one came out, and I was a diehard Tony Hawk fan. So I did play the first one, and I was kind of like, oh, that's interesting. We're doing something different, because the game was all about like the board control. I skipped 2, and then 3, I did not play at launch. But it was several years later when I was working at GameStop, and like Dan and I have talked about in the past of like every fucking day, more and more kids would come in, Skate 3, Skate 3, Skate 3. And finally at one point I was like, I guess I should fucking buy Skate 3 and just see what everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
And I think at the time the big thing about that game was the physics bullshit, and that's what drew kids in, because it's ragdoll, it's really stupid. But if you were to put next to each other a Tony Hawk game versus Skate, I'm always going to choose a Tony Hawk game.
Always,
every single time.
I can agree.
So this one, like I said, when they originally were like, yeah, we're going to finally do it, we're going to make Skate, I said way back when they announced, like, it's not going to be what anybody wants it to be. And then when they finally revealed, like, it's going to be this open map microtransaction, it's exactly what I expected EA to do to kill this, and that's what's going to happen. So I'm not surprised at all.
I'm not really shocked either. Like, to be honest with you, Tony Hawk's really the only intro I have to skating, like skateboarding games, and I really feel like that's all you really need.
It reminded me that I need to go play more of the 3 and 4 remake.
Yeah, I'm not shocked that it's not that great and everything's hidden by microtransactions, because nowadays I feel like that's, if it's a free game, everything is going to be microtransaction based. And at that point in time, I get it. You got to make your money back. I'm not mad at you for that. But I will say, if your game isn't good, I don't want to throw microtransaction money at it. Like,
no, and I've seen, like, it's literally everything, boards down to wheels, colors, the characters, shirts. Like, it just, no thanks.
No, thank you. I'm okay.
No, thank you.
If anything, I'll just play Skate 3 if I really want to play a skate game.
I think I have it digitally. I know they made it backwards compatible on the Xbox because they had to.
No, thank you. I'm okay. I don't need it in my life that bad.
Yeah, like like if you want to play Skate 3 is there. Go play Skate 3.
Play Skate 3.
That'll do it for emails. Send your emails into podcast572@gmail.com. The last thing we'll say here is that Ryan Nee Miller is going to join us again the next episode we record. So the very next episode, if you have any questions for him, anything you want to say, please email it into that same email address. And obviously we'll have him look at it and answer it when he's here. But that'll be the next time that we record. Otherwise, we'll be back in another 2 weeks. Thank you for listening or watching.
Yeah, stay safe.